Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's take you straight into this chat now as the SA20 League is heading into the business end of the competition with the start of the playoffs today, as only 4 teams remain in contention for the coveted title. In a top-of-the-table clash, the Paarl Royals and MI Cape Town will go head-to-head in an all-Western Cape derby in Qualifier 1 at St. George's Park in Gqeberha. While the defending champion Sunrisers Eastern Cape and the Joburg Super Kings will then meet in the eliminator at Supersport Park in Centurion tomorrow, with the winner of that match to face the loser of Qualifier 1 in the second qualifier on Thursday. Joining us to look ahead to the action-packed final week of the tournament is the SA20 Commissioner Graeme Smith, who joins us now via Zoom. Graeme, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Very good morning to you. And if we're looking at the SA20, one could say it's a well-scripted movie. It had a bit of drama, the weather playing a part in it, and a couple of close encounters. Quite a roller coaster that we've seen this season. How would you sum it up so far in terms of what we saw in the group stages as we're now prepared to head into the playoffs?
Yeah, Andy. I mean, I guess 30 games almost pretty much in a row around the country is hopefully always going to provide some cricketing drama. We've been able to see some of the best players in the world applying their trade locally and internationally. And I think the highlight this season has been the fans again, no matter the weather, coming out in their numbers, having an absolute blast in their stadiums. The fan loyalty to their teams has been incredible to experience. And, going into the final week now, we hope that there's a lot more, I guess, exciting drama to come.
And if you're looking at some of the key highlights then from the group stages, you're talking about the fan engagement, but another initiative that you came up with the night watchman pass. And one who's thinking about Test cricket thinks about, a night watchman. You wouldn't know much about it because you're in the top order, but it's something completely different in the T20 and the SA20 context, isn't it? Do you explain to us exactly what that is and why it is that it has enjoyed so much success this season?
Yeah, look, I mean, the night watchman pass for us is an opportunity. I think in our stadiums, we've seen an immense amount of kids come out, and the 5:30 start of the game, we're trying to encourage kids to bring their parents. And we're offering the families that do that, special rewards in terms of parking, specified areas. Over the next coming games, starting today, tomorrow and Thursday, it's, opportunities to play in the field with their top cricketers. Everything that's been experienced in the stadium so far is going to be on steroids over the next coming days in terms of entertainment and what's on offer, instant cash giveaways, and then, the top 4 teams in the tournament going back head to head.
And how do you see this impacting fan engagement then in terms of what you've seen so far and what we can expect in the playoffs? You mentioned those playing for a chance to win a couple of million, but what do you expect then in terms of fan engagement and what this night watchman pass can do for you in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the opportunities for families, to have, specific parking right by the stadium, to get into stands where, there's everything available to you as a family, and you go around the stadium from face painting to, opportunities with still talk, because the experiences in our stadium, the entertainment that we invest in, from the music to what's on offer, the instant cash giveaways to families as well. It's really an opportunity to come and have a great evening out with Betway SA20. We are driven by, everyone that wants to join us on a given night can come and have a great time. So there's something on offer for everybody.
And let's take it back then to the field of play. 4 teams that remain in contention. I'll put you on the spot there and say from what we've seen then, it seemed like the Paarl Royals were the early pace setters, but things starting to even out. And the big question many are asking is, can the Sunrisers Eastern Cape complete a three-peat? If I were to ask you which team you think stands the strongest chance of making it all the way, who would that be?
Yeah, it's a difficult one for me. I think that's been the highlight of the tournament. Certainly these top 4 teams, their results have been up and down. I think obviously Cape Town, has been the most consistent. But, now with different conditions, no home ground advantage, it's going to be interesting to see how the teams step up. I think tonight's clash, Royals and Cape Town, there's some of the best cricketers on show. You think about the youngsters in those Royals teams, Pretorius and Mapaka, how well they've done. David Miller's had a great season. That's just to name 3. And then on the MI side, Rabada, Rickleton, Trent Bolt, Rashid Khan. I mean, just incredible players. Dewald Brevis looks to be finding his feet this season. And I know the Sunrisers are fan favourites. I think that's being led by Marco Jansen. He's having another outstanding season. So, I just am looking forward to the clashes over, in particular, the next coming days. The final on Saturday is sold out. So many people trying to get into it. It's going to be a massive day. But in the next, starting tonight, tomorrow and Thursday, there's some huge clashes that are coming.
And the stakes are quite high then as we lead up to that sold-out affair on Saturday. If you're looking at a big game like a final, what do you think is going to be the key differentiator here? We're talking BMT, we're talking perhaps the team that can time when they peak in the games at the best. What do you think is going to be the key difference for the team that does go all the way here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about, it's a cliche, but it's about, rocking up on the day when the tournament's been this intense and you get to the final. It's about making sure that you can execute. I mean, coming to the Wanderers, there's no better stadium. It's going to be full. It's going to be buzzing. The noise inside the bull ring is going to be incredible. And, sometimes it's about being calm and just focusing on executing your skills and making good decisions. There's such quality players on show. We look at Durban this year. I mean, I thought they were going to be one of the favourites, but I think through some average tactical decisions, they've got themselves into trouble and not even in the knockout. So I think that's been the highlight of the league, that it's equally competitive. And no one really knows who's going to win it at this stage.
And it's also about imparting onto the youngsters. You did mention some of the big names that we've seen coming out of the SA20 competition. So as a retired professional cricketer yourself, you've walked the path. What is some of the advice that you would give to the youngsters as they now have a chance to learn from the greats of cricket firsthand in this SA20?
Yeah, well, we've heard from them, and I think the opportunity and the platform that Betway SA20 has given them, on a global stage to showcase their performances as youngsters. I've been so happy to see that the franchises have backed a number of youngsters this season and given them the platform. And the opportunity, we've listened to Mapaka Pretorius talk about what it's like to be in a team environment with, for example, a Joe Root. The youngsters in Cape Town spending time with Rabada and Trent Bolt and Rashid Khan. I mean, these stories, weren't available to South African cricketers for a number of years. And now just to have the opportunity to perform on a global stage with heroes of the game, the best players in the game, is something that can only strengthen South African cricket.